Welcome dear students. Today we have taken chapter number 11, Calorimetry in Physics. According to the reduced syllabus, simple numerical problems based on latent heat is omitted. So let us start the chapter. Topics are heat capacity, specific heat capacity and its measurement. Concept of heat. We know that each substance is made up of molecules, and the sum of the potential energy and kinetic energy of molecules is called its internal energy. So the total internal energy of all molecules of a substance is called its thermal energy. A hot body has more internal energy than an identical cold body. So when a hot body is kept in contact with a cold body, the cold body warms up and while the hot body cools down. So the energy which flows from the hot body to the cold body is called the heat energy or simply the heat. Thus, heat is that form of energy which flows from a hot body to a cold body when they are kept in contact. The measurement of the quantity of heat is called calorimetry. Unit of heat. The SI unit of heat is joule. The other unit is calorie and its symbol is Cal. 1 calorie is the heat energy required to raise the temperature of 1 gram of water from 14.5 degrees centigrade to 15.5 degrees centigrade. A particular temperature has been taken since the water on heating shows anomalous expansion. 1 calorie equals to 4.186 joule or 4.2 joule. Concept of temperature. We know that on keeping a hot body in contact with a cold body, heat flows from the hot body to the cold body. The body which imparts heat is said to be at a higher temperature than the body which receives heat. Thus, temperature determines the direction of flow of heat. So, the temperature is defined. Temperature is a parameter which tells the thermal state of a body, that is the degree of hotness or coldness of the body. It determines the direction of flow of heat when two bodies at different temperatures are placed in contact. The amount of heat energy contained in a body depends on its mass, temperature and the material of body. So if there is no transfer of heat between the two bodies placed in contact, they are said to be at the same temperature, but it does not mean that they have equal amount of thermal energy in them. Unit of temperature is Kelvin and it is symbolized by capital K. The other unit is degree Celsius and it is denoted by degree C. The relation between Kelvin and Celsius scale is T Kelvin equals to 273 plus T degree centigrade. That means that by adding 273 to the temperature in degrees Celsius, we get the temperature in Kelvin scale. From our everyday experience, we find that different bodies require different amounts of heat energy for equal rise in their temperatures. This property of a body is expressed in terms of its heat capacity. So the heat capacity of a body is the amount of heat energy required to raise its temperature by 1 degree centigrade or 1 Kelvin. Heat capacity is denoted by capital C dash and it is equals to amount of heat energy supplied upon rise in temperature. So the formula will be C dash equals to Q upon del T. Unit of heat capacity. Unit of heat capacity is joule per Kelvin and it is also written as joule per degree Celsius. The other common units of heat capacity are calorie degree Celsius or kilocalorie degree per degree Celsius. Specific heat capacity. Heat capacity of a body when expressed for the unit mass is called the specific heat capacity of the substance of that body. It is denoted by the symbol small c. Specific heat capacity C equals to heat capacity of body C dash upon mass of the body M, and we know that C dash equals to Q upon del T. Hence specific heat capacity C equals to Q upon M del T. The quantity of heat energy absorbed to increase the temperature of a body depends on three factors: mass of the body, mass of the body, that is Q is directly proportional to m. The increase in the temperature of the body, that is Q is directly proportional to del T. And the material or substance of the body, that is Q is directly proportional to C. Units of a specific heat capacity. It is joule per kilogram per Kelvin or joule per kilogram per degree Celsius. Relationship between the heat capacity and the specific heat capacity equals to heat capacity C dash equals to mass m into specific heat capacity C, that is C dash equals to mc. The specific heat capacity of some common substances. The specific heat capacity of a substance is its characteristic property and it is different for different substances. So the substance with low specific heat capacity shows a rapid and high rise in temperature. Thus, it is a better conductor of heat than the substance with high specific heat capacity, which shows a slow and small rise in temperature. Water has unusually high specific heat capacity equals to 4200 joule per kg per Kelvin. The specific heat capacity of the same substances is different in its different phases. The specific heat capacity of water is 4200 joule per Kelvin per kg and of ice is 2100 joule per kg per Kelvin and of steam is 460 joule per kg per Kelvin. Calorimeter. Calorimeter is a cylindrical vessel which is used to measure the amount of heat gained or lost by a body when it is mixed with another body or substance. Here you can see the figure of the calorimeter. It is made up of a thin sheet of copper because copper is a good conductor of heat and copper has low specific heat capacity. So the amount of energy taken by the calorimeter itself from the contents to acquire its temperature is very small. The outer and inner surfaces of vessel are polished so as to reduce the loss of heat due to radiation. For insulation, it is placed inside a wooden jacket. The space between the calorimeter and the jacket is filled with some poor conductors such as wool or cotton to avoid the heat loss by conduction. It is covered with a wooden lid which has two openings. One is for the thermometer and another is for a stirrer, which is used to mix the contents in the calorimeter. Now the principle of method of mixtures or principle of calorimetry. It is heat energy lost by the hot body is equals to the heat energy gained by the cold body. This is called the principle of method of mixtures or the principle of calorimetry. The principle is based on the law of conservation of energy. Mathematical statement. Let a substance A of mass m1, specific heat capacity C1 at a higher temperature T1 be mixed with another substance B of mass m2, specific heat capacity C2 at a lower temperature T2. If the final temperature of mixture becomes T, then fall in temperature of the substance A T1 minus T and rise in temperature of substance B T minus T2. So if no heat energy is lost to the surroundings, then by the principle of method of mixtures, heat energy lost by A equals to heat energy gained by B. We have calculated these values with this formula. So M1 C1 T1 minus T equals to M2 C2 T minus T2. If calorimeter or a vessel is used for mixing the two substances A and B, we must also take in account the heat energy gained or absorbed by the calorimeter to attain final temperature. If mass of calorimeter is m and specific heat capacity of its substance is C, it will get heat energy equals to mct minus 2. Then m1 c1 t1 minus t equals to m2 c2 plus mc into t minus t2. Next topic is natural phenomena and consequences of high specific heat capacity of water and other substances. So study these examples of yourself, and if you are having any doubt, you may ask me. Our next topic is change of phase and latent heat. There are three states of phases of matter, namely solid, liquid, and gas. The process of change from one state to another at a constant temperature is called the change of phase. It is brought about the exchange of heat. The figure shows the This figure shows the different changes of phase of a substance. If the solid is directly converted into gas, it is called sublimation, and if gas is directly solidified in solid, it is called solidification. When solid converts into liquid, it is called melting, and when liquid is cooled down to convert into solid, it is called freezing. When liquid converts into gas, it is called vaporization, and when gases are condensed or liquefied to convert into liquid, it is called condensation. Melting and freezing. The change from solid to liquid phase by the absorption of heat at a constant temperature is called melting. The constant temperature at which a solid changes to liquid is called the melting point of the solid. The reverse change from liquid to solid phase with the liberation of heat at a constant temperature is called freezing, and the temperature at which a liquid freezes to solid is called its freezing point. So, if we are taking example of ice converting into water, since 0 degree centigrade ice is melted to 0 degree centigrade water by the absorption of heat, and 0 degree centigrade water is freezed to 0 degree centigrade ice by the liberation of heat. Heating curve of ice during melting. For this plotting of graph between time and temperature graph for the melting of ice, we have done an experiment in which we have taken some ice chips in a boiling test tube, and we provide heat to the boiling. So the ice chips melts to form water. We have noticed the temperature after every half minute till the temperature of water formed after melting of ice increases to 30 degrees centigrade. From the graph, it is clear that the temperature of ice remains constant equal to 0 degrees centigrade in the part AB, which is marked by the blue line, till the whole ice melts. The constant temperature at which the ice melts is the melting point of ice, that is 0 degrees centigrade. The heat supplied during this time is being used in melting the ice. After this, the temperature of water by the melted ice begins to rise from 0 degrees centigrade in the part BC. Change in volume on melting. Most of the substances like lead, wax, etc. expand on melting. That is, their volume changes or increases when they melt. But some substances like ice contract on melting, means their volume decreases on melting. Effect of pressure on the melting point. The melting point of the substances which contract on melting decreases by the increase in pressure. On the other hand, the melting point of the substances which expand on melting increases by the increase in pressure. Effect of impurities on the melting point. The melting point of a substance decreases by the presence of impurities in it. Vaporization or boiling. The change from liquid to gas phase on absorption of heat at a constant temperature is called vaporization. The particular temperature at which vaporization occurs is called the boiling point of liquid. Similarly, the change from vapor to liquid phase on liberation of heat at a constant temperature is called condensation, and the particular temperature at which the condensation occurs is called the condensation point of vapor. So it is clear that from 100 degree centigrade water to form 100 degree centigrade steam, we need absorption of heat in the boiling process, and to get 100 degree centigrade steam into 100 degree centigrade water, the steam should be condensed, and in this process liberation of heat is occurred. Heating curve for water. Here we have to plot a graph in the time and temperature, and this is the heating curve for water. For this we have done an experiment in which we have taken some amount of water at a room temperature, say 20 degrees centigrade, and we start providing the heat for the flask, and we have taken the note of temperature after every half minute. So from the graph it is observed that initially at A, water is at 20 degrees centigrade, and then with the absorption of heat energy the temperature of water rises to 100 degrees centigrade. At B, the water starts boiling and the temperature does not rise, although heat energy is being continuously absorbed by the water. The part BC is thus parallel to the time axis and represents the boiling of water. The particular temperature at the point B is the boiling point of water. Change in volume on boiling. All liquids expand on boiling means volume is increased. Effect of pressure on the boiling point. The boiling point of a liquid increases with the increase in pressure and decreases with the decrease in pressure. Effect of impurities on the boiling point. The boiling point of a liquid increases by the addition of impurities to it. Latent heat and a specific latent heat. Since the heat energy absorbed or liberated in the change of phase is not externally manifested by any rise or fall in temperature, it is called the latent heat. And latent heat, when expressed for unit mass of substance, is called the specific latent heat. It is a characteristic property of the substance and is different for different substances. Specific latent heat is denoted by the symbol capital L. Hence, specific latent heat is equals to heat absorbed or liberated for the change of phase upon mass. Hence, L equals to Q upon M, where Q is the amount of heat energy absorbed and M is the mass of a substance during its change of phase at a constant temperature. So, the specific latent heat of a phase is the quantity of heat energy absorbed or liberated by the unit mass of the substance for the change in its phase at a constant temperature. Unit of specific latent heat is joule per kg or calorie per gram or kilocalorie per kg. The specific latent heat of fusion of ice is the heat energy required to melt unit mass of ice at 0 degree centigrade to water at 0 degree centigrade without any change in temperature. On the other hand, the specific latent heat of freezing ice is the heat energy released when a unit mass of water at 0 degree centigrade freezes to ice at 0 degree centigrade without any change in temperature. Explanation of latent heat of melting on the basis of kinetic model. According to the kinetic model, the molecules in a solid vibrate about their mean positions. When a solid changes into a liquid without any change in temperature, the average kinetic energy of the molecules does not change, but the separation between the molecules on an average increases. Some energy is required for increasing the separation against the attractive forces between the molecules. Thus, the heat energy supplied during melting is utilized only in increasing the potential energy of the molecules and is called the latent heat of melting. So, when 1 gram of ice at 0 degree centigrade changes to water at 0 degree centigrade, nearly 336 joule energy is used in increasing the potential energy due to increase in intermolecular separation. So, latent heat of ice is 336 joule per gram. Now, some natural consequences of high specific latent heat of fusion of ice is given. So, study them yourself. Now, chapter 11, calorimetry has been completed. Study the chapter properly, and if you are having any queries, you may ask me. We'll meet in the next chapter. Till then, take care.